Genetics. I want to take a moment and talk about genetics. Remember, it is what you say it is. And while it was believed that your genes determine the destiny of your health and well-being, scientists are discovering now that that is so not true. They are discovering that it's so not true. Meaning that one may believe that because their mother, their father, someone has transitioned because of a certain disease or whatever, that they too are expected to pass on at a certain age of the same disease or condition. Now they know that this is not the case. You are not the victim of your family's past illnesses. You actually can change that. You can change that. It's mind over body. Okay? And now we can shift what goes on in our DNA via our minds. I've known people who, because their family had a certain trait that ran through the family, they felt that they too had to experience that. But what happened is, as their doctors were telling them that this would be their reality, somewhere they made up in their mind that it would not be. It will not be their reality. And they chose to believe and feel something different. Not just on a surface level, not just in their mind, but in their subconscious mind, in that deep space. They chose, they made a decision that their doctor was telling them would not be their destiny. It was believed that genetics determine everything about you. And so, when you believe it so it is. Why is this important? People are looking for things to alter the DNA of people, of messing with people's stuff. And remember, I told you that whenever you hear a narrative pushed, whenever you see a narrative being pushed, it's so that you will believe it. They need you to believe it in order for it to really happen. So in order for anything with your genes or your DNA to be affected by anything that they are saying is going to cause this, that, and the other, it has to come by a way. You have to open the door for that belief. So what happens is they'll do subliminal messaging. You'll see subliminal stuff pushed, where it's not really vocal and in your face, but there are subliminal ways in which they push the narrative or stay on the agenda. And for as long as you're consuming this information in your subconscious space, it's forming a belief, it's forming a reality, it's forming a condition. It's forming a condition that you are unaware of because you're not aware that you are consuming information that is seeping that or pushing a vibratory frequency that then will connect with other vibratory frequencies that will bring that to fruition, that will call that forth. Now, I know it's a little thing. You have to believe it for it to become reality in your world, in your life. So whatever they're doing and they're trying to promote this thing to be, it cannot be that unless you allow it to be that. So now you have to become mindful. What are you watching? What are you consuming? What are the imaging What are they speaking? Once you are, and you know when media start joking about woke, whatever they want to call woke, they're wanting people to feel some kind of way about becoming aware of what's going on. And remember, reality is not reality unless you label it as reality. Just as we've gotten labels. We label things according to what we were taught it means. We were taught what things mean and what things are. And this was in order for us to communicate and get along in life and be able to, exist here with some type of language that means something. But the reality is it doesn't mean anything unless you give it a label. It doesn't have a label unless you give it a label. And if someone has given you the label and you made that label of what it is and how you are to feel about it and what's supposed to happen to you as a result of it, and you accept this as true, then that label will then be reality within your world. But if you do not label it as such, or you do it for the sake of, okay, I'm in this world, so everything has labels, so, and for the sake of communicating, I will use the labels, but I know that this too is consciousness flowing through all that I am witnessing. Yes, you call this an ant, it's an ant, but that is consciousness. You call this money? Yeah, that's money. But it's consciousness, it's energy. That you have labeled as money, and perhaps money that is far off somewhere where you can't get any of it. When it's energy too, just like you. And some people will go as far as to say money is conscious, because it knows who it wants to hang with and who it wants to run from. So that's another video. I'll talk about that in another video. But anyway, back on topic. Back on genes, genetics. Your genes, your DNA operates based on beliefs. It operates based on beliefs. Now I will do another video going deeper into this. It operates on beliefs. You can actually change your DNA by what you believe with all of your heart and soul. Believe it. And you can alter anything in your DNA in the single strand. There's a double strand, but the single strand is what is the human being is what is the human being experience. Is what is the human being experience. You can alter anything in there. So if anyone's talking about injecting you with something, and you go to bed day and night believing that your body is protected from any of that, any of it, that it has no effect on you, it won't affect you. That means don't look back at it, don't worry about it, don't even give it space in your world, and it cannot exist in your world. This is complicated for many. It's easy for others, but it may be a little complicated. And I'm going to talk more on this. I'm going to do another video about this, and I'm going to go more in depth. If you will, whenever you're feeling a certain way, play this video again. Or play one of the other ones again that remind you that all power is with you. All power is with you. You can alter anything in your DNA. The only way anyone has power is if you believe what they say. And so that's why the rush is to get something else that will, they're coming up with all kinds of scenarios, but I'll mention it for the sake of mentioning it. But it's not anything to be fearful about, and it's not anything to run in your mind, because remember, you have to give it permission. So anything they're talking about doing with blocking out the sun or putting stuff up there, some bio something somewhere to make you not be able to think on your own, all that mess, leave it in their world. Leave it in their world. Leave them be with their stuff and all the people that want to believe that and feed into that and keep consuming the information that they're using that is subliminally implanting messages and information within you so that you don't realize that your rights is being taken over. Your soul's purpose is being taken over. You have to peek the game, people. Peek the game. Peek the game. You decide. Hey, yellow butterfly. Yeah, peek the game. It is what you say it is. Now I know this was like DNA, genetics. It is what I say it is. It's about belief. It's about, I went all into that. Much love, much love, much love. Choice here. Namaste.